good afternoon, I think, with the time zones. How's your day going aside from, answering the same questions about yourself over and over and over again?
It's going great. Every time of year, or we got the draft coming up, and people want to talk ball, people want to talk draft, people want to talk about all the teams in the NFL, but especially my four favorite teams in no particular order. Miami Dolphins, which may be a shocker because my son Max coaches for those guys, and it was
Sure.
Lisa's favorite team growing up. San Francisco 49ers, we all know that. Obviously the Washington Commanders, my youngest son Luke is playing for the Commanders. Man, what a year they had last year. They're so fun to watch. Big expectations going into this one. And then of course I root for my hometown Denver Broncos. But I do a show on Sirius XM NFL every Thursday. We cover all the teams, all the hot topics. And so, I've lived a football life and I don't know, I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, three-time Super Bowl winner, Pro Bowler, et cetera. But what I want to talk to you about is these things,
What?
those little things there.
What?
Delicious, delicious foods that you're putting on the market, and that follows the horseradish and the mustard and all that products. What exactly was the bridge for you to go to successful football and coaching career to the food world?
Believe it or not, I've been selling mustard and horseradish sauces since 1998. So they've been selling strong for over 26 years. And my business partner Ty and I started selling them and getting them into retailers back in the 90s. That was before smartphones and
Right.
we had websites and things like that. But the product was so incredibly good and high quality, and mustard and horseradish are naturally healthy, so we didn't have to promote the fact that they're healthy. But they're healthier alternative to like some mayonnaises and other more fattening condiments. But the product is so good that it's just sold for 20 some years because people love the product. In the beginning, it was kind of like Ed's End Zone O's, had a cereal box where I jumped through a frosted Cheerio and had Eddie mac and cheese, and
Sure.
we had fun with other food products, but it was the spicy brown mustard and our horseradish sauce that stood the test of time because they're very quality products. And we've added over the years other mustards. We have a yellow mustard now that sells online at McCaffreybrands.com. We just created a website less than a year ago. Before that, it was selling at Kroger, which is King Soopers out in Colorado, in city markets and Safeways and Albertsons. So we have a really good retail presence regionally. But within the past year, we created a website, McCaffreybrands.com. We launched a national food product, right? Where we
Yeah. You beat me to it.
we help you eat healthy by eating
Yeah.
birthday cake and chocolate chip cookie dough and fudge brownie. Who would have thunk you could get healthy and in great shape eating those types of delicious foods? But we found a way to do it. And I lead off with how great they taste because as soon as you say healthy, you're thinking, okay, gluten-free, non-GMO, probably tastes like cardboard. These are fantastic. I think they're the healthiest, most delicious, healthy snack on the market. And I can't wait for, obviously you've tried them, but I can't wait for other people to try them because my whole life I tried to eat healthy, which is why we
Mhm.
started with the condiments to begin with. I was eating really bland, zero fat, low fat turkey burgers and chicken sandwiches and turkey
Right.
sandwiches and needed to add flavor to my food. So with our condiment line, we make good food taste better. And with our healthy snack line, we make healthy food taste great. And I love food. I consider myself a super taster, self-proclaimed super taster. Love all
Sure.
kinds of food, but I also care about my health. And but whether you're a youth athlete who wants a little snack before the game or after the game, or your mom in the car driving them to practices, or you're going to work and you have your briefcase, or you're doing a show like this and you get hungry at some
Yeah.
point and you need a little pop of energy. The key to them is that they have protein and that they which you should spread out throughout the day, and you should
Yeah.
have 5 to 6 meals throughout the day, three slightly larger meals and three snacks eaten every 2 to 4 hours. And then of course if you're an athlete, got to be fueled up before the game. If you play a 3 hour game like in the NFL, you want a halftime snack, and certainly after, within 20 minutes after your competition, to prevent lactic acid buildup and your muscle breakdown, you need some protein and some kind of food right after the game. So anyway, we're really proud that it's our first national launch. Now the mustard's starting to sell nationally as well, and of course online at McCaffreybrands.com.
So the reason I held these two up is because I devoured all the birthday cake ones. Those were my favorite of the batch so far. Do you have a favorite of the protein bites?
I love all three of them. The birthday cake might be the sweetest tasting right out of the bag, The
Yeah.
chocolate chip cookie dough are definitely the crowd favorite. And then for me, the fudge brownie, I love that as well, but I especially like it when I go golfing or if I'm outside because
Sure.
they get a little bit warmed up in your golf bag if you're outside in the sun. And I think they taste even better when they're a little warmer as opposed to cold room temperature. Room temperature, I'm probably going birthday cake. Any occasion, we're going chocolate chip cookie dough. And if I'm outside in the sun, fudge brownie. But also I like a variety. I like, changing it up a little bit.
For sure. So you called out the teams that your sons play for presently. We called out the protein bites, which it's the McCaffrey family of the brands and all that. So you're working with the kids in the football, you're working with the kids on the food end and all that. So how do holiday dinners with the family usually go? Are there other topics that are safe to talk about?
Yeah, we could talk about anything in our family. But I think they're busy doing their day job. So, Christian is working out like a world-class athlete. Christian and Luke train together.
Hmm.
Luke's working out like a world-class athlete. They just reported for OTAs recently. So they're getting after it with their team. Think they had a great offseason, a great couple months of training, and now they're happy to be back. Max doesn't get a day off. He's a coach. He doesn't get a day off. He's preparing all the time. A lot
Right.
of long nights at the facility. So for him, it's important to eat healthy as well. You're a coach. You don't exercise the way you did when you were a player. Try to get your workout in the morning and then eat healthy snacks instead of going for junk food. And then Dylan's a boat captain in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. So he takes him out on his boat or out on his kayak or when he's given tours and things like that. And a lot of people that he's given them to have really appreciated it as well. So, but in terms of family holidays, when you live a football life, you don't have a lot of them. 4th of July is like a huge holiday for us, right? Because during the fall, they're playing and coaching. So, Christmas, Thanksgiving, you name it. All of those holidays are completely out the window in terms of getting the family together. So we try to get together in February when the season's over and try to get over 4th of July weekend. And if we can get together twice as a family during the year, then that's a huge success.
So what's the main hobby for you? You mentioned golf before, but when you're not doing the family thing, which you clearly love and are very active in, when you're not working all the time with relation to football and coaching, what is it that you like to do with yourself?
Well, I like being part of a team. And you talked a little bit earlier about, why go into a food products business. And mainly because a lot of the things I loved about playing football, which is, having teammates, having coworkers, having coaches, having people to, work towards a goal with. Those are things that are important to me. I need to keep moving forward. I love food. I love
Mhm.
good tasting food. I try to eat healthy. I'm really creating products that I want selfishly, right? I want good tasting healthy snacks. So I like what I'm eating and can, stay healthy as I get older, but also created them for my family and my kids to eat. But I probably work with 15 to 20 people pretty regularly, and then unlimited number of people that work for our farmers, our manufacturers, people at our warehouse, our retailers. And it just feels really good to work with other people to grow something. I think having entrepreneurial spirit, and you kind of fall into the role of coach to some extent as well when you're running
Mhm.
a business. You can't do it alone. You need to rely on other people. So you try to surround yourself with really hardworking, intelligent people who share your passion. And I mean, that's football, right? That's what we loved about football when we were players. When I was a player, my kids still get to do it. And I would have played football forever if I could, but obviously I couldn't. So then I went into coaching, still run my football camp every summer in June, have fun doing that, still watch film with all my boys and talk about the games after the games in the fall. But for the rest of the time and during the rest of the year, I have a really cool group of people that I work with to grow McCaffrey brands. I mean, from the design
Mhm.
of the packaging to the ingredient deck to negotiating with retailers to getting it on the shelves to creating a website to working with our manufacturers and visiting the plants and meeting everybody that spends a lot of time and effort and energy actually making our
Mhm.
product. I mean, there's a never ending list of things to do, and I love every minute of it.
So, sort of a compliment and sort of a question right here. Everything that I'm hearing, it sounds like life did not peak by any stretch of the imagination with winning a couple of Super Bowls. unlike a lot of people that you started in football with.
Yeah, I'm a happy husband. I love my wife Lisa. I love our boys. I love being a dad. Love being part of, their childhood and helping to raise them and guide them. And so proud of the men that they've grown up to be. And I did try to do things professionally that allowed me to be around my family because I love them and I wanted to be around them. That was by choice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so now we're empty nesters, and I have this just passion for being an entrepreneur. And I'm doing something that again I've been doing since 1998, but it was really kind of set it and forget it for 25 years, and only in the last year that I really decide this is what I want to do, at least for as long as I can think of doing something. And so I love the people I'm working with, love the products that we're creating. Hopefully, we're providing something that people value. They value their health, they value food that tastes good. And that's really the goal. How do we make healthy food taste great? And that's it's been pretty fun. It's challenging, very challenging. It's not easy to make healthy food taste great. It really isn't, other than some natural foods, fruits and some vegetables that have natural sweetener and taste good. It's really hard to have to create a product that you can take with you that doesn't expire within 24 to 48 hours, that
Right.
actually tastes good and is good for you. So I've really enjoyed that quest. And these are just our first product that we're really excited about that we've created. There's many more to come.
Okay, so two quick questions, then I let you go. And the first one was along the lines of what you just said. Were there plans to go into other products? Because let's face it, protein bites have very little to do with mustard or horseradish, kind of opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of sweetness and texture and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, mustard and horseradish was created mainly my business partner now, Ty. We restructured our business, and he's my business partner. We work together. But
Hmm.
we had the cereal and the mac and cheese, but he asked me, what I ate every day. Now, this was before most of my kids were born. The mustard products are older than two of my four boys, and the others were just infants when we created the mustard. And it was mostly a regional brand. You've seen other athletes do cereals or food products. But I
Yeah.
did mustard because that's the food I ate every day. I literally put spicy brown mustard on my sandwiches every single day. And so that's why we created it. And it was to make good food taste better. And we had fun with it. I was still playing, so I didn't know how long it was going to last. Maybe people don't like the product and stop buying it. Thank goodness they love it. And they
Right.
bought it for 25 years before I decided to do this full time. I was broadcasting for the Broncos, I was coaching, I was doing all these other things. And then I hung up the whistle and decided to become a full-time entrepreneur, and launch a healthy protein snack. But this was our first national launch, and this is the first product we did with the whole family. Remember, a lot of these guys weren't born when the mustard came out. So people do get confused sometimes because they'll go to McCaffreybrands.com and they'll see mustard and horseradish right below the protein bites and wonder what the heck's going on. But the missions are similar. Make good food taste great, make healthy food taste great. That's the goal. But we hope to come out. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I hate talking about it till it's happened. I'll say this: we're hoping to come out with a
Hmm.
cereal and an oatmeal and potentially some bars. One thing we're coming out with in the next couple months is a 10 gram of protein pack for athletes that we can put in health and fitness centers. That'll be out probably in a few months. And we just want to continue to work hard, get feedback from our customers and our followers to find out what they're looking for so that we can give them the greatest tasting healthy snack available, and give them a bunch of variety as well, not just have the bites, but have granola, oatmeal, cereal. One of the real challenges is finding a way to create sweetness, right? The more protein you add, the more bitter
Hmm.
food can get. And so finding a really healthy alternative to artificial sweeteners or unhealthy additives or pure cane sugar
Hmm.
is challenging. And so I've had a lot of people present different recipes to me, different ingredient decks, but I haven't found one yet that I've approved that is both healthy and that tastes great. That's why I'm so proud of the protein bites, because they taste great. So if we're going to do cereal and we're going to do granola and we're going to do other bars or other varieties of healthy snacks, it has to start with tasting great. and then we make them as healthy as possible. But so far, still working on it.
So far, so good. And the last question, some athletes care about what music is playing when they're training, others don't. When you have control of the radio, the stereo, the speakers, the Spotify, whatever it is, what is playing?
Man, I am a classic rock guy, so you can pull some stuff from the 60s, 70s. I like all kinds of music, but if I have to have a go-to, I'm going to classic rock as my go-to. Maybe throw a little heavy metal in there, and then some other variety songs from different genres. But yeah, classic rock. I could listen to that all day on a loop.
And the follow-up to that, what's the last concert that you went to for fun?
Oh man, that's a great question. Um, I was at a Zach Bryan concert, which is obviously a super world famous country singer. He helped do a fundraiser for Christian's foundation, the Christian McCaffrey Foundation.
Wow.
And who else did I go to? I went to someone more recently, I believe. I've been to a couple country concerts actually, for whatever reason, but I really do like country music. But I haven't. I went to a Rolling Stones concert a couple years ago, so I've been a Rolling Stones fan since I was born, and got to see them. And they're in their 70s now, right? But I got to see them.
80s.
They're in their 80s now. Oh my gosh, now I'm old. But I'm starting to look more like Keith Richards every day. But
no way, man. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. Looking forward to what's to come on the food end, on the coaching end, on the family end, et cetera. Thank you for being such a wonderful role model, and same goes for your kids as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.